Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every single day. And why do I ask you every single day? Because we want our tribe to grow. We do. And we're just about at 4,000. And I am so excited. And because of that, we have to go down in these settings. Yes, I have to tell you to get down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And I am, I pop in. I really do. I wanted to pop in today, but I didn't have any kind of media. All my editing, it was gone, but it's up now. It's supposed to be up. We'll see. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. Maybe we will have some media. And also, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching the commercials. Just thank you for supporting the channel in that way. It means everything. It does. It really, really supports the channel. And thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that. Also, right about here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to just have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our Super Thanks button is right over there. And all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, with all that said, y'all, let's get to the read. And y'all know when I'm putting the read together what I do. I hit these internet streets, and hopefully it's a picture of the internet streets up there. But if it's not, the editing is still shaky at best. But we're gonna pretend like it's up here. But I believe it should be up there. I'm just saying. And y'all know me in these internet streets. I hit all the social media platforms. I was over to Blue Sky, stayed over there for quite a while. Did not really go to TikTok that very much because I'm still aggravated with them about CapCut. But I did go over there a little while. I am really going to put some effort into my TikTok profile and my TikTok account. I have a lot of plans for this year. A lot of improving, a lot of new things. I have just so many plans, and I hope to implement them all for all of you. So yes, I was over to TikTok, but not for very long. I went to Instagram. The Instagram squatties are just still PO'd about this Vanity Fair article. Yes, they still are. I mean, and they are still those people over across the pond that really perpetrated this uh, orchestrated attack on Meghan are really trying to still make this article get some traction. They started tweeting about it. Like, who cares about what they tweet about over there? Nobody, nobody. But yet and still they are really trying to get some traction out of this. And my whole thing is basically the only person or only entity that has suffered in this whole situation is definitely not Meghan. It's Vanity Fair. Now, Meghan and Harry not going to deal with them no more. They will not be dealt with at all. They're going to have to deal with the left behinds. And maybe, if we see will not and cannot show up on the pages of Vanity Fair or the cover of Vanity Fair, we know exactly what happened. We understand what the trading was all about. It was traded, they traded will not and cannot for a smear campaign, for a hit piece on Harry and Meghan. And I would say probably the person who negotiated that particular deal would probably be Katie Nichols, because we all know she is associate editor or something over there. And we all know Tina Brown. Tina Brown was the editor over there. I don't even know if Vanity Fair might be an American company, but it might have deep roots in the UK because it's a whole lot of British citizens on the uh, payroll over there at Vanity Fair. But all I know, they burned their bridge with Harry and Meghan. And, it's always good to know who your enemies are. You know how to deal with them. And Vanity Fair has showed itself to be exactly what it is. And all the big stories coming out, they will not get anything. Just another news entity that will be served up dust. That's what Harry and Meghan, you best believe they're going to get served dust. They will never get to go on one of Harry and Meghan's trips or anything else. They will never get another scoop. They will never get anything from Harry and Meghan because they have shown themselves to be exactly what they are, a rag. A rag that can be used to wipe the arse of the royal family. And so we see you and we say okay, and you would be dealt with accordingly. That's all I'm saying. And so, but the squatties on Instagram are still just steaming hot about that. And see what else they talking about. They talking about something else that I'm going to do a pop-up tomorrow about. I'm not going to say nothing about it, but I'm going to do a pop-up tomorrow about it. And I'm telling you, I am going to roast these folks. I'm going to do this pop-up about. So y'all keep a lookout tomorrow for that pop-up because I wanted to do it today, but I did not have any editing, and I really needed to, in order to do this justice, I needed editing. So I am going to put it off to tomorrow. And let's see what else the squatters are talking about. They are just dragging Russell Myers because Russell Myers had come out talking about Harry was offered to stay at Buckingham Palace. Well, somebody on Harry's team and Harry and Meghan's team has gone to people to air him out. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, that's exactly what they did. And so we have that article we're going to talk about too. We have a lot to talk about. But that's what Instagram, and y'all know at the end of the day, I always land on X, formerly known as Twitter, and they dragging everybody over there. They are dragging them all that needs to be drugged, and they still pissed about this article. But the best thing that we have found out that this article is getting no traction. People are not paying it any mind because guess what? People have lives and they have things going on, and they're not invested in the nonsense that these people over across the pond who continues to try to lift up, prop up, and just absolutely convince everybody that they are not that couple over there that's in line to be the king and queen is not the mediocres that we see them to be. I mean, they are putting in the overtime with that, but they are failing spectacularly. And my whole thing is this. I don't get why they can't do that. Go ahead and sell them. You know, we as squatters would not care about anything that they would write to lift those folks up. I could care less if they write puff piece after puff piece after puff piece for those mediocres over there. Nothing would bother me. It wouldn't bother me at all. Where the rub is for me is when they involve Harry and Meghan in it. You do not, and Meghan said this in the Oprah interview. She said, you don't have to hate me to love her, and you don't have to love her to hate me, or vice versa, or whatever Meghan was trying to say. I never get that right. But basically what she was saying is, go ahead, lift them up. Write puff piece after puff piece. Do the invisible contract all you want to, but leave Harry and Meghan out of it. That's all you got to do. And they're trying to paint the Sussex Squad, as usual, as such horrible people. Talking about we dox people, talking about we say horrible things to people, and have nothing to say about all of these hate channels who get all these views on this particular app and all the other different apps it is. I mean, Instagram, I mean, just so much hate over there for Harry and Meghan. And Facebook, you name it. But yet and still, we're the bad guys when we choose to match your energy. Don't get it twisted. The Sussex Squad is just matching your energy, and that's the problem. People who do their dirt, people who are low down and just as janky as they can be, they hate when you come with the same energy. They don't mind being a dirty old pig, but when you decide to wrestle them, that's when the problem comes in. Not the fact that they dirty pigs. It's the fact that you don't mind wrestling with one. That's what it is. And the Sussex Squad has really shifted to the point where they are just matching energy and they just want to clutch their pearls about it. Oh my God, they're saying mean things to me. I said mean things about Meghan and I just tear her down and just do all manner of nonsense and behave in such an atrocious manner. But oh my God, when that same energy comes back to me, I cannot take it. Thin skin. I said this from the beginning. Their thin skin is their Achilles heel. They cannot take it. And it is two of them that's crying like the pigs that they are, trapped under a fence, talking about the Sussex Squad, saying that we somehow are these horrible people. No, 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 no. We're not horrible people. We're just people who are not going to allow you to do anything that you want to do, to absolutely abuse and misuse and lie and misinform in peace. We're never going to do that. And you can say whatever you want to about us, but we are going to come at you. When you come at Harry and Meghan, we're coming after you. And like I said, we don't care. We absolutely are going to match your energy. If you don't like the energy, stop putting it out there because you are receiving exactly back what you are giving. That's the part you don't like because you receive that energy. Yes, 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 indeed. And so that's my point. And like I said, if they would just lift them up and do all the things and prop them up and pretend like Kate is Saint Kate and she is the best thing since sliced bread and that she is eloquent and they could tell all the lies they wanted to about William and Kate. They wouldn't hear a peep out of the Sussex Squad as long as they kept Harry and Meghan's name out of their mouths. We wouldn't say anything because we don't care enough to say anything. I could care less about them. But I only start caring about them and I only am interested in dragging them when they bring Harry and Meghan in it. If you want us to stop, you stop. I have said that all the time ever since I started this channel. If you want us to stop, you stop. Because it is not that serious for us. It's not. We don't care about William and Kate. We don't care about Charles and Camilla. Y'all do you. Let Harry and Meghan thrive, be happy, leave them alone to raise their family in peace, and let us be in peace to enjoy the Invictus game, to enjoy Archie's, we can't even enjoy his first day of school. We have missed his first day of school. We have missed Lilibeth's first day of school. We can't enjoy seeing these kids grow up to be what they're going to grow up to be. We can't enjoy what Megan is up to. We just want to buy some pots and pans. That's it. We just want to see what Megan is going to do on her cooking show. We just want to make some of the recipes. I'm interested in what that cake she cooked over there. It was looking good. You would not have any problem out of the Sussex Squad if you would just mind that business over there and leave them alone. I'm just saying. I went on a tangent, but I think that's something that needs to be said often to let them know it is not an agenda for us when it comes to those folks over there. We are not on the offensive. We're on the defensive. Okay? You need to get off the offense because you will not have to be on a defense if you get off the offense. Because we're not going to come after you because we don't care enough to come after you. Just don't come after Harry and Meghan because at the end of the day, it's on like Donkey Kong when you do. It is on like Donkey Kong. And that's just the way it is. And that's the way it is going to be until you stop. Because as long as you have Harry and Meghan's name in your mouth, it is on sight. On sight. Every time we see you, we coming for you. And that's just the way it is. But go about your business, you know, concentrate on the left behinds over there. You won't hear anything from me. This whole channel will be about what kind of cookware Megan cooked in and what was that recipe. We will be having all kinds of little talks about how big Archie's gotten and what Lily's up to. This whole channel will be about that. I would never even bring those folks' names up. But since you absolutely will not stop, we not either. I'm sorry for the tangent, but sometimes I think that has to be said to let them understand that the Sussex Squad is not a malicious group. We are not. We're on the defense, not the offense. Never have been, never will be. But we will defend now. We're going to defend. And you can just absolutely, as my grandmother used to say, put your foot on that. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, we're going to start. But I have to start off with a tangent. Have to start with a tangent. But I'm going to put this up. And this right here just proves that these people across the pond know nothing. And they're so eager to report anything when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And I just got through saying, if they really want a truce, if they really want us to stop calling out the lies that comes out of Kensington Palace, if they really want us to stop dragging the left behinds, they would leave Harry and Meghan alone. But they don't want that because they continue to keep Harry and Meghan's name in their mouths. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up, and this is a post by Victoria Ward, and she is a flying monkey. She's a flying monkey and a toady. She is both. And so she wanted to come in after Harry and Meghan, one of their representatives, had spoken to People magazine. She wanted to come in like she is breaking some news when she read it at the same time we read it. I could have posted this, but this is what she said. Prince Harry will not attend the opening of his trial against news group newspapers when it gets underway at the High Court tomorrow. We know that. Why do we know that? Because Harry's representative has put that out so to be known. You ain't breaking no story, sister. You ain't breaking no story. But here she is tweeting about it. Like she absolutely got a scoop. This is what gets on my nerves with these flying monkeys and toadies. It says, the Telegraph understands because the Telegraph read the People magazine article. That's why it understands that. Not because they had any kind of inside advantage in finding out anything. But this is how they pretend like they're in the loop when we all know they couldn't even find the loop if they tried to. But I digress. It goes to say he will return to the UK to give evidence later in February. And that was straight out of the People magazine article. But here she is talking about the Telegraph understands. This is what you're dealing with. Bunch of lying, scheming, flying monkeys. I'm telling you. And so this particular squatty came up under her post and said this. Why aren't you calling out your colleague, Russell Myers, for lying? Because we all know earlier this week, Russell Myers lied. I don't know if Russell Myers lied or not. He maybe was just lied to by the palace, because we all know they are just like a bunch of little dogs waiting for the palace, one of those palaces over there, to throw them a bone. And when they throw them a bone, they're so happy. Oh my God, they're so happy. And they threw Russell Myers a bone and lied and said that Harry would be over there next week, that they had offered Harry a room at Buckingham Palace. And what was the third thing that lied? Oh yeah, that he was going to get limited protection, security when he came over there. Those are the three things that they said. These are the three things that Russell Myers reported. This is what he did. And like I said, I don't know if Russell Myers lied, meaning that he just made this up out of whole cloth, because we know they are good for that too. Or if the palace fed this to them. If I had to, fed it to him. If I had to guess, I would say that it was fed to him. It was absolutely fed to him. And Harry went to People and aired them out. I mean, aired them completely out. And I love that by Harry. I do. I do. Every chance that Harry gets, he airs them out, and he aired them out. He went to People, his representatives or somebody close to him went to People and aired them completely out because they were just running with this story. Harry refused a place at Buckingham Palace, which I reported on that and said this is what they were saying. But my whole thing was, I am happy that he did so. Because at the end of the day, you can't trust some folks over there. You cannot eat their food. I remember I even did a podcast on what Kaiser had said. And Kaiser was saying the same thing. Them folks dangerous over there. You can't be going over there sleeping in them beds over there. There's no telling what they'll put in there. Harry has lots of enemies, and most of them are related to him. I'm just saying. But Harry went to People and aired them out. But this particular squatty went on to say, why aren't you calling out your colleague, Russell Myers, for lying? He claimed he got an exclusive that Harry was going to be in the UK this week and was given security but declined a room at Buckingham Palace. Yes, and he was everywhere. Two eyes to see and two ears to hear him. He was all over the place. The articles were just flying off the presses about this so-called exclusive, which was nothing but a planet story, which was a lie. And that is exactly what happens from Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace. And we all know, and I believe this one came straight from Charles. It is from his office. This is a lie straight out of Buckingham Palace. That's my opinion. And it goes on to say that clearly was all lies, and yet he passed it off as he had got an inside info. Yes, and I believe he did get inside info lie. He got a lie from the inside. But they don't care. The flying monkeys don't care. Do you think Russell Myers cares if that was a lie or not? What he cares about is he was given something to report on. At this point, when you're circling the drain, you will take anything. Anything that anybody tosses out there. Anything Buckingham Palace just gives them. They run with it, and then they absolutely peddle it over there to Lorraine and peddle it in his rag, the mirror, and peddle it everywhere he can go. He'll go to Australia on Australia television, peddling it over there, and could care less if it's true or not. Just to have something in his hand is the most important thing for people like Russell Myers. But yes, he has been proven a lie, completely aired out by Harry's people. And I just love that for him. And I love it for them. And I'm going to put the article up. This is the article in People that Harry's people went to and just aired him completely out. And aired Buckingham Palace out because that's where that story came from. It came from Buckingham Palace. And they are so used to being able to lie and Harry and Meghan not answer them back. They just tell a lie and don't expect anything to say anything of it. And if Harry had not aired them out, people would have still been believing that he was going to have some kind of security, that he was had turned down a room or a place to stay at Buckingham Palace, and that he was going to be over there this week. You know why Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace continue to do this? Because it only makes them look even worse. Because at this point, who believes anything that comes out of that? Because to me, Kate is not the one that got cancer. William looked like he the one that has cancer. I'm just saying, if you told me William had cancer, I'd say, okay, yeah, he does. But they'll never say that. They want to try to make you believe that this healthy, robust woman has cancer with every hair she has ever had in her whole life, even the one she was born with still on her head today, that she absolutely has cancer and did not know what a cold cap was. Did have no idea that you had to use that to keep your hair if you was on chemotherapy. Just absolutely just in there just acting, just cutting up, I'm telling you. But yes, they absolutely love whatever's fed to them, true or lie. All right, let's get into this article where Harry just airs them out. And like I said, it was in People, and the name of the article is Prince Harry to Miss First Day of UK Trial, Dismissing Reports He Was Set to Receive Police Protection. Aired out. There you go. You're lying. And it goes on to say the trial of the Duke of Sussex case against Rupert Murdoch on tabloid The Sun is set to begin in front of a judge in London on January 21st. It says Prince Harry will not travel to London for the first day of the trial against Rupert Murdoch's tabloid The Sun, refuting claims that he was set to receive limited police protection during his stay. There you go. Aired out. Yes, yes. That's why I said Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace. They can't get used to their new normal, which is people are not gonna let you lie any of your lies go unanswered. Harry and Meghan seem like they have absolutely decided that they're not gonna put up with them just lying without some kind of response. We're gonna air you out. Every time you do it, we're gonna air you out. Now we ain't gonna air out the nonsense like Vanity Fair, of course, because that's beneath them to even involve themselves in that kind of nonsense. Leave that to the Sussex Squad. We'll deal with Vanity Fair and all the other folks that go along with them. But air them folks out, Harry. Air them out. And they talked about him and Tom Watson, who is the last two men standing, who is going to ride this horse to the end. Yes, he is. And so I cannot wait. They said they're going to call in all manners of people. A lot of celebrities whose phone has been tapped and hacked. Ooh, ooh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Every day we're gonna have something to talk about and what those folks have done. So we're gonna monitor tomorrow and see how the opening day goes. But Harry said, whichever way it goes, I'm not gonna be there until February. Harry is not gonna be. I think they say it's a 6 to 8 week trial, and he is not going to be over there. Harry don't want to stay over there. And it's not because of the British people. It is that family and how dangerous it is for Harry. But basically, this whole article is just saying that they are liars. Harry absolutely aired them out and exposed them for the liars that they are. And we all know that they're liars, but it is just delicious when Harry decides to air them out. All right, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty took offense to a post that Cameron Walker, you know, that little pipsqueak, that little annoying little gnat that works over there at the GB News. And he posted this. It says, money, reputation, and family relationships are all on the line when Prince Harry brings his case against News Group newspaper to trial tomorrow. Prince Harry will stop at nothing, even at the expense of his own family. How would Harry taking a newspaper group to court, if he had a decent family, if he really had a family who loved, cared, and supported him, how in the world would trying to get justice of how they have absolutely hacked his phone and did illegal information gathering on all of the women of his life, like his girlfriends. I think they even put like a tracking device on Chelsea Davies' car. But yet it's still, all of this is they're trying to frame it as somehow Harry is doing this against his family. Well, that if he is actually doing this against his family, then that should tell you what kind of family he got. He has a family who's in the bed with the British media. And I don't know which one is on top. I'm just saying. So this particular squatty reposted that and said this. What should be shocking for these brainless sycophants is the fact that Harry is the only one trying to avenge his mother. Because we all know that what's going on with Harry and Meghan is nothing new. It is the same playbook that they used on Diana. Absolutely. What they are trying to do to Meghan, they already did to Diana. And they'll do it to the next one who does not walk in lockstep with what they think a princess should do. And the number one thing they wanted Meghan to do is to take the abuse. That's Meghan's only crime. Is the fact, well, a crime in their eyes, is that she refused to accept their abuse. She refused to be abused. She refused to stay and absolutely put up with the just onslaught of abuse and cruelty and lies and character assassination. That's why they mad with Meghan, because she didn't stay over there and help them sell papers as they took a little piece of her soul with each issue, each picture that's posted on the pages of these rags. They are mad because she survived. She got away. And she took her man and her baby with her. And they mad about that. I'm just saying. And so, and also, like this particular squatter said, Harry is revenging his mother's death. Harry is still pissed about that. Go, and who wouldn't? I'm just saying, who wouldn't? Go and watch that interview with Harry when Harry and Meghan went to Africa. Go back and watch that when Harry is standing around talking to him, and they bring up Diana. And Harry is absolutely still furious about them taking his mother away, because he clearly says she should be here. Diana didn't do anything to deserve the treatment and the Dianering that happened to her. And Harry understands that. William could care less. It's all about him. Harry is the only one. And it goes on to say, the fact that he doesn't care about losing money proves how genuine he is. Harry said you're going to lose a lot of money in this. But at the end of the day, something has to be more important than money. And I just love it. And his mom is more important. Diana, I bet she's up there smiling, because she got 1 out of 2 right. She did. She got 1 out of 2 right. And that's about the average. That is about the average, because you're going to have one. You're going to have one. Even I got one. We all going to have one. We're going to have one of them that's going to absolutely take a left when you want them to stay on the straight and narrow. I'm just saying. And William is the one that took the left. Harry stayed on the straight and narrow. And Harry wants to absolutely revenge his mother's death. And it goes on to say, the fact that he doesn't care about money, losing money, proves that he's genuine, how genuine he is. Meanwhile, William is too greedy to lose a cent to defend his mother's life. Now, to me, it was about, not so much about the money as it was about the protection. The protection for him and Kitty Cat, and the destruction of Harry and Meghan, because he wanted them destroyed. And if they could guarantee that they would absolutely just destroy Harry and Meghan and protect them, because that has always been the rub for William. Harry being better than him has always been the rub for him. And he's known that all his life, that Harry is better. And that is the reason why they try to portray Harry as thick, as stupid, as this, as that. And in actuality, if Harry was so thick and stupid, how has he achieved so much? I don't know too many stupid people who have achieved what Harry has achieved. And he, who's supposed to be smart, the slumlord, is a freaking slumlord. Everybody done gave him everything, and he still can't even make a success out of that. But yet and still, Harry is the dumb one. Harry is the thick one. Harry is the one that Meghan manipulates. They have an article talking about Meghan is remothering Harry. We're going to cover that in just a minute. Yes, Harry's so stupid. He is so stupid that Meghan just remothering him. And in actuality, That is what the horse is doing to Charles. And they know it, and they've been knowing it. Because that is the only excuse, the only explanation that makes any sense. That a man would give up a beautiful woman like Diana to go to someone whose face looked like the bottom of most people's shoes. It don't make no sense. Even Prince Philip said this. He didn't understand none of this. Y'all remember in the crowd? And Diana was trying to talk to Prince Philip about the marriage and everything, and Camilla, and Prince Philip said, I don't understand none of it. he could not understand why Charles would choose somebody who looked like Camilla. I'm telling you, looked like somebody who been kicking her in the face on the regular compared to Diana. And Diana really, really loved him. But it was all about his jealousy of Diana and him knowing that she was better at the job than him and she was more loved than him. His inadequacies, his absolute insecurities. That's why he didn't love Diana, and that's why he loved Camilla, because Camilla could never be a shining star. She couldn't. She was just an old broad who would just do anything. And I mean anything. Because y'all know it was a write-up while all this was going on that Camilla was bedding Charles in the bushes while Diana was upstairs. That's the kind of old nasty stuff that they said she did. And she got him, and she got the big hat too. She did. But like I said, Prince Philip said he didn't understand. Prince Philip was like, Diana, I know, but I don't get it either. And who would? I'm telling you, it has to be something not quite right there. And we all know that Prince Philip was nothing but disappointed in Charles. He never understood Charles. He thought Charles was a complete and utter failure. He did. And where's the lie? I'm just asking, where is it? I'm going to put up this. This is Kaiser writing an article. You know, she writes the article about an article. And this is her writing her takes on this Vanity Fair article. And the name of her article is Vanity Fair. It's kind of feels like Duchess Meghan is reparenting Prince Harry. That is something that was said in this article. They always try to portray Harry as this very naive, dumb boy who never has grown up, who's damaged. If I hear them say that he's just damaged, he's so damaged, and it just don't fit. It just don't fit. This is a man who was in the military for 10 years, flew Apache helicopters, who has created one of the most successful athletic competition for wounded vets ever known. He has created one of the most elite uh, competition, sports competition for vets that it is in the world. I mean, you can't be stupid and do that. You can't be thick and do that. But they try to ignore all his accomplishments. They try to ignore all the things that he has done. Look at Travelers. I mean, nothing but a success. You don't set up something like that has a $3 trillion shared um, assets. You don't just set that up and be a dope. I mean, they want you to believe that Harry is walking around here bumping into walls. He's so stupid. But yet and still he has all these accolades. I mean, it's all about what I was saying last night. They always trying to sell you on the 2 plus 2 is 5. It just don't make no sense. And it don't make no sense that Meghan is mothering him. What? Harry stood up and said he chose to take his wife and his child away from there. He wanted to go. And if you go back in all the interviews, and we talked about this last night too, Harry has made it perfectly clear that he never wanted to be a part of that family. He never felt like he fit. He was a Spencer through and through. He said he was too much like his mom. Harry said that. So my whole thing is they need to stop it. They need to stop trying to blame Meghan, and they need to stop trying to paint Harry into this dunce. Because like I said, you can try all you might, but 2 plus 2 is not going to equal 5. It's just not. And it is always going to be people out there to figure that out. I'm just saying. Let's get into this article. It says Vanity Fair February cover story is all about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, their marriage. Why is Vanity Fair going into Harry and Meghan's marriage? Talking about their marriage, and then telling lies, talking about how Meghan was shopping around to see if she could get a book deal if she divorced Harry. But then at the end of that whole scenario narrative that they had painted, then they came back and said, well, if that was true, it would be that the publisher would have to approached her. And I thought about that. I would not be surprised if that wasn't true. And they did it in order to be able to put that in the article. I bet Meghan didn't even get the email. I bet it was an email sent under the guise of who knows what. But so they could say that they contacted her about it. It was all a setup. It's just, this is what Harry and Meghan has to deal with. These conniving old skanks. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say their business, their successes, and their failures. Tell me what their failures are. That's what I want to know. I'll tell you what they're claiming. Well, Pearl. You remember Pearl? Pearl was Meghan's idea of a cartoon series about a girl named Pearl who was going to go back in history and meet historical figures. And the little girl's name was Pearl. So they scrapped it over there at Netflix. Why? Because they shut that whole division down. They wasn't going to create content for children anymore. So they scrapped that whole division. And what division was Pearl in? It was in the children's division. But they want to try to pretend like that somehow was a failure on Meghan's part. They are just grasping at straws all the time, trying to create this narrative that they want to create, and that is Harry and Meghan are failures. So they put that in the column of failure. All right, the second thing they want to say Harry and Meghan failed at is the Spotify deal. Spotify was not working for them. Just like the Obamas, just like Kim Kardashian, and many more, packed their little clothes up in the suitcase and left Spotify. Meghan absolutely wanted to own her stuff. Spotify wanted to own her stuff. You create something, you don't want to just give it away and let people use it as they please. And that's pretty much what Spotify wanted to do. And that's why a lot of people left Spotify. And they could only have it on that one platform. They could not have it on Apple or any of the other platforms like Lemonada. And Lemonada, they can have it on all different platforms. But they want to try to say that that was a failure. They want to say that her podcast was a failure. Award-winning podcast that knocked Joe Rogan off the #1 spot, something that hadn't happened in years and years and years. Meghan did that. But they want to try to paint her podcast as a failure. These people need to stop. And it's my understanding, since it's been on Lemonada, that it has really been doing good. And we all know this is what, a 2-year-old podcast now? Going into 3 maybe? And it's still successful. And Lemonada is still promoting archetypes. Because when they posted in the new year, there was archetypes right there featured in among all the different podcasts that they were highlighting. So how is that a failure? But they want to try to paint it as a failure. I don't know anything that Harry and Meghan has failed at. They need to absolutely let me know what that is. But these failures that they're talking about. Then it goes on to say, they have felt that sometime now that some people in America media has had their knives out for the Sussexes. Where is the lie? But yes, that's true. But it's all generated from somewhere from the UK. It's always a UK connection within the American media. It has not been organically grown, saying Americans felt this way, or Americans are doing a hit campaign on Harry and Meghan, or a smear campaign on Harry and Meghan. It's always initiated. You can always find that UK connection. Just like at Vanity Fair. There's Katie Nichols. There's Tina Brown. Yes, and probably a lot of other Brits that on that, that work within that paper that we don't even know about. But you can always find that connection. It is always there. Look at that hit piece coming out of the Hollywood Reporter, and that hit piece coming out of the Montecito, the newspaper over in Montecito. All coming from flying monkeys. All coming from people who have a connection with Tina Brown, who have a connection to one of those rags over there. So this is not an organic thing that Americans are just coming up with something and having the knives out for Harry and Meghan. This is orchestrated. Always have been, always will be. And it's orchestrated by someone from across the pond all the time. And most of the time it's Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace. Just absolutely calling in their tokens. And then it goes on to say, and this Vanity Fair story really shows it. You cannot say that all of this is coming from salty royalists in Britain, if there are certainly chunks of the Vanity Fair story which read like quotes from palace sources. Where is the lie? But see, Kaiser, she ain't looking too deep, because yes, they have the knives out. Some of the American press has the knives out for Harry and Meghan, but it is a reason why. You always ask why. Because what would motivate an American news organization or entity to attack Harry and Meghan? What would they get out of it? What? What would Vanity Fair get out of it? Well, we all know that it has to be somebody spearheading this, somebody who is absolutely driving this and going to get something out of it. You always have to get to the root to find out what is happening here and who is getting something out of it. And we all know who gets something out of it. William and Charles, Kate and the horse, and the British media, the ones that Harry is suing. It is all hand in glove nonsense. I'm just saying. And then it says, but the fact is, Vanity Fair put the story together in a way and timed it to drop at a specific moment, speaking to a larger transatlantic agenda to kneecap, vilify, and undermine Harry and Meghan. Yes, but what they didn't anticipate was that the Sussex Squad was not going to help them drive it. We was not going to get in there and promote it or anything like that. We have absolutely talked among ourselves and served them up dust. And we have achieved our goal. This thing is not getting any traction. It is not a whole lot of panels or anybody talking about it over here because people are not interested in it. But they are doing their best to try to poison the water against Harry and Meghan in Meghan's own country. And that's why I said all the stuff I said in the beginning. They don't stop. We don't stop. They are even trying to poison people's mind about the Sussex Squad. But what they don't seem to understand, the Sussex Squad don't give a damn. We don't. We don't care about what you think of us. We don't care about none of that. All we care about is that you leave Harry and Meghan alone. And we'll leave them alone. And I have said that time and time again. But they think just because they'll talk some nonsense about the Sussex Squad, oh, you think we're going to get in our feelings about that? We know the source. My grandmother used to say all the time, if somebody says something negative about you or a lie on you or something, where did it come from? What is the source? And the source is coming from people who do nothing but lie. And they cannot take the pushback. But let me tell you, the pushback ain't going nowhere. Because as long as you push us, we're going to push you back. Stop pushing us. We'll stop pushing you back. It's simple like that. I'm just saying. And this goes on to say that while the cover story is aimed more at Meghan, of course, there certainly is an unflattering portrait of Harry included too. They paint him as unintelligent. They have been doing that to Harry since his birth. They have absolutely done nothing but run him down to try to big up William, calling him unintelligent, yet well-mannered man-child who is being reparented by Meghan. Harry has a better relationship with his family. At an event in 2023, someone privately asked Harry if he heard from his family. Now, who asked Harry that and Harry would actually speak on it? But they want us to believe that somebody asked him, and then Harry said, this person, this I don't know who this person was, asked Harry about his family and talking about had he seen them, and Harry said he had, but he hoped to. Harry has always said that he was going to keep the door open for his family, but him and his wife was moving on. Out of all the stuff that Harry has learned, I wonder would Harry still say that now? Because he has a clear picture of who these people who absolutely has his blood, but not his best interest at heart. I'm just saying. And then Kaiser goes on to talk about the Sussex's security and that there is a clear danger to the family's safety. A person who worked closely with them says strangers take lift to their houses. Of course they do. Y'all remember I talked about that the other day. They wanted to try to do a bus tour to go to all the different places that Harry and Meghan frequent in Montecito. And then they want to talk about the Sussex Squad. When have we ever had enough interest to go over there to stand in front of Buckingham Palace or try to go to Windsor or somewhere like that? You could not pay me to do that. I would not do that. But these crazy, deranged people does that. They do that. And they want to try to paint us into it is laughable. All I want to do is see little Archie running in and absolutely having a good time and growing up to be the great little, just into a young man, and just see what Harry and Meghan's doing. And like I said, see what Meghan cooking. We want to see what the recipe's gonna be. That's what we want to do. We could care less about them people. It is not that deep for us. When will they learn? It's not that deep for us. I'm just saying. All right, and then they talk about the Sussex's deep love, but yet and still they want to pretend like Meghan was shopping around for a divorce book. Yes, they talked about that and the dynamics of caregiving. I guess talking about she is one who makes things happen, per Meghan, saying that the person familiar with the couple, Harry, would just pop in to the palace press office, ask a few questions, and leave like he was a little bored, but also very keen. And they know that's a lie. Harry was the only one who really put any points on the board. He was the only one that had projects from start to finish that he saw through, that actually had results in that family. But yet and still they want to, pretend like he would just pop in. He wasn't very interested, but he would just pop in. Harry had legitimate points on the board before he even met Meghan. And Meghan had legitimate points on the board before she met Harry. These are people who had accomplishments. But yet and still, they still trying to lie on Harry. It's ridiculous. And then it said Meghan claims that she didn't research the Windsors when she met Harry. They still beating that old dead horse. Why would she? She knows if she is dating a prince, what is she trying? Now, it's different when you meet a man, you Google them and try to find out if they got some kind of criminal record, if they, some kind of axe murderer or something like that. Of course you're going to look and see if something been going on with it. But Harry was the prince of the United Kingdom. Why would she Google him? Because all she would get was a bunch of nonsense from a bunch of rags. She said she would bet everything she wanted to learn from him. And she looked at his Instagram to see what he was doing on there. I don't find that so crazy. Because it wasn't like she was dating a normal guy that she had found on eHarmony or somewhere like, what is the other one, Cupid or somewhere. She was dating a prince of the United Kingdom. She knew he had to be a somewhat decent person. And she was going to find out the rest from him. Why is that so strange? I'm just saying. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And talking about Harry doesn't know himself. Harry is a 40-year-old man with a arm, with accolades as long as my arm. How does Harry not know himself? It is ridiculous. He is a grown man with 2 children, a wife, a huge house, and a bunch of accolades as long as my arm. But they want to portray him as this person who don't even know himself. They need to stop with the nonsense. It is just so ridiculous that it is laughable, to say the least. And Kaiser go on to say, let's see, what does she say? Basically, though, this is all just another version of a million other stories about Harry being bored and dumb. Where is the lie? And indifference to his new California life. They want to try to continue to sell that. I mean, the same thing. This came straight from Camilla Tominey, straight from Katie Nichols, straight from across the pond. This is all coordinated and orchestrated. I'm just saying. And I want to put this up. And people forget that this is an old playbook. And here's an example of just that. Princess Diana was accused of mistreating her staff, just like Meghan Markle. Princess Diana and Meghan Markle face the same allegations of bullying. Same thing. Same old playbook. Just same old thing. They have done it over and over and over again. The only difference this time is they get pushback. They get called out. And that's the only difference. And they don't like that. And this particular squatter said this: the two women who made their voices heard. I despise the royal family and the British media who learned nothing from the death of Diana. And it was never their intentions to learn anything. They want to do what they want to do, and that's make money off the misery and the abuse of others. That's it. That's all they want. They don't care about anything else. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and it pretty much says what I think too. It says, I'm tired of some people saying that Harry and Meghan should address this. Why would they address lies made up by clout-hungry people? Well, it's a lie. Trying to get a click or a view. And this old Katie Nichols and all these, you know, toting the water for William and Charles. That's all that is. A bunch of toadies. And Harry and Meghan should not even address nothing that this article said. Let us squatties handle this. Let us do the dragon. This is in our wheelhouse. Now, when it comes to airing them folks out over there, now that's Harry. Let Harry, we just follow suit when Harry airs them out. But as for this nonsense like in Vanity Fair, that's in our wheelhouse. Let us continue to handle that because it is plenty of handling being done online, let me tell you. And this particular squatty goes on to say, I do, however, believe that William and Charles should address the stealing from charities allegations, and Kate should finally come clean. What about that? Do that. Because Harry and Meghan are above this. Now, they really above this Vanity Fair nonsense. This is the same old hit piece. Like I said, let us squatties, we'll handle that. That's our wheelhouse. But he ain't gonna address this nonsense because this is nonsense. And like I said, that's in our wheelhouse. Let us have it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna put this up, and y'all know what that means. That means if they don't stop, we don't stop. And that's point blank, period. And dot, 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 dot. I'm just saying. Bye.